Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Halloween, and for Halloween, I decided to make a video because I was thinking about some old game that I played, and I just thought, is there anything scarier than Daleks for Halloween? That would be a good theme because there's nothing scarier than Daleks. Or maybe there is. I don't know. I don't really know what a Dalek is. I mean, I know it's those robots from Doctor Who, but I never actually, never was a big fan of Doctor Who when I was a kid. I mean, it was already on the TV when I was a kid, and I just remember it always scared me. It always seemed like a little more of a horror themed kind of series. I think in more recent times it's become less so, but just it kind of scared me too much to watch as a kid. But anyway, so let's play a couple of games about Daleks. The first one is just called Daleks. It's very simple. It just comes with a single exe file, so let's just go ahead and run that. Daleks. This is a game based on the Doctor Who television series. In this game, you are the Doctor and must destroy all Daleks before they get to you. Each level has progressively more Daleks. There are only two ways to destroy Daleks. One way is to make them run into each other. When two more collide, they create a pile of debris. This pile will destroy any other Dalek that runs into it. The second way is by using a tool called the sonic screwdriver. The sonic screwdriver can be used once on each level to make any Daleks directly next to you disappear. So basically, you move around with the numeric keypad. You can press spacebar to skip a move. And then Last Stand gives up all your remaining moves. So this game is by Robert Paue of Soft Star Software in Orangevale, California. A $5 contribution would be appreciated. So if you do a Google search right now, as of this video, if you do a Google search right now for Daleks DOS game or something like that, this is the game that you'll find. It's on several websites, and it's basically, I don't know what the time relationship of these games is, but this is basically based, as far as I know, on an old DOS game called Robots. It was basically the same premise. You're one person who walks around, and the idea is to deal with these robots by getting them to walk into each other, because it creates a pile of scrap like that one there, and then you can get them to walk into the scrap pile, and they just get destroyed. So basically, these robots have no AI other than just to go directly towards you, and so it's easy to trick them into destroying each other by just getting them to crash into each other. Now, here I'm in a situation where I don't think I can get away from these robots. I'm going to have to press F1 to teleport and hope that I don't teleport into a dangerous place. Okay, I teleported there. That's probably not ideal, but can I get some of these guys to walk into each other? Okay, well, two did. There's that. Okay, actually, a couple did. There are two scrap piles to the right, but that's not going to help me here. So I'm going to press F1 again. I mean, really what I could do is use the sonic screwdriver. That would be a surefire way of destroying them. But you only have a limited number of sonic screwdriver charges, whereas you can teleport as many times as you want. The risk of teleporting is just that you might teleport onto a Dalek. So yeah, so this game, it's an old game. Like I said, I think it's based on an even older premise, which kind of significantly predates my seeing any game of this type. But in any case, yeah, you get the idea. You know, it's a fairly simple game. Each move, both you and the robots or the Daleks can move only one square at a time. And like I said, this is the game that you're likely to find if you go looking for a DOS game called Daleks. There's nothing really especially wrong with this game. Oh yeah, one thing I do like about this game is that if you press spacebar to pass and not move, then, okay, well now it says exterminate, but usually it'll say that you find something. So like, well, let me get to a place of relative safety. Okay, and I'll press spacebar here. You find a book on how to teach yourself Tibetan. You find some rope in your pocket. You find your pockets are empty. And come on, there's a bunch of other stuff that... Oh, I died. Okay. One got you. Please enter your name. Okay. So, yeah, and the game has a high score table there that it will maintain. But yeah, I just want to see... You find a white mouse in your pocket. It scampers away from you. You find an integrated pocket micro lock. You find a microcircular attenuator. So it's kind of like Robot Finds Kitten. They're just various random things that you suddenly find if you just sit here and wait out your turn, like if you deliberately miss one turn to let the robots come to you. And yeah, if you press F2 for the sonic screwdriver, that happens, but like I said, you can only use the sonic screwdriver a limited number of times. I think it's only once per level. Yeah, and then if you press F3 for last stand, then it just basically, you're supposed to use that if you are sure that the rest of the robots are going to kill themselves on some obstacle like a scrap pile, which would have to be scrap pile because there are no other obstacles in the game. But anyway, so yeah, so this game is, like I said, there's nothing really explicitly wrong with it. I am a bit bothered by the fact that the characters are double high. I guess it's, I'm guessing it probably works just by changing the text character appearance, because each character is about twice as tall as they are wide. And it really, to me, it actually looks like a TRS-80 game. I don't know why. Just every time I think about this game, it makes me think of the TRS-80. So like here's the situation where you could just press F3 and yeah, just get that Dalek into the scrap pile, since you know that he will, since you know that he has no AI to go around it. So it's kind of like for those of you who played a lot of Wolfenstein 3D, it's basically the same idea. These things, the Nazis in Wolfenstein 3D usually just come straight towards you. Like they have no AI that would cause them to try to take cover or run away when they're wounded or anything like that. So they just always come straight for you. So the exact same AI principle is at work here. So like I said, there's nothing particularly wrong with this game. I like this game, but let's see, how do I quit? I just press escape, and it creates a file there called daleks.sco for score. So this game is fine, but I was going through my old files, and I found that file there called daleks10.lzh or lzh, depending on what country you're from. And that I unzipped, or can you say unzipped? Unlharked, because that's the LHARC format, which later became the LHA program. I unarchived that into this folder called Dalek, and here we have a few files. This is a game which I'm going to guess that none of you have ever seen. I would be willing to bet that none of you have ever seen this game. Let's take a look at some of these files. So we have here a daleks.doc. And yeah, this is Daleks version 1.0, copyright 1988 by Peter Camilleri or Camilleri? Anyway, no restrictions are placed on commercial users of the program. So it's freeware, fairly simple little game with elements of strategy and tactics. Hardware requirements, boy, an IBM PC with at least 128K RAM. Not so sure of this. I like how he says not so sure of this. Yeah, so this program's written in Borland's Turbo Pascal with a piece of music generated by the Piano Man package. And it includes source. I mean, yeah, if you look at, I'll return to the directory in just a second, but yeah, it includes the Pascal source code. And I'm going to guess that address on Yonge Street in Toronto is probably not current anymore. I'm going to guess that you can no longer contact Mr. Camilleri or Camilleri at that address. Just a guess, but what do I know? But yeah, daleks.pas for the Pascal source code. You can actually see exactly what the program is. And I like it when software does this. I don't know why people still bother to distribute software without the source code. I mean, why would you? It's just making everything harder for other people. And of course, I like that the program is called Exterminate, Exterminate, Exterminate. And obviously, I'm not going to describe all the stuff here, but yeah, procedure dirge, external daleks.trb. So that's the, I guess that's the funeral dirge that plays when you die. So yeah, I'll just quickly just scroll through this just so you can see what happens. I mean, this is great stuff. Source code for software is something that really should always be included. I'm kind of unhappy about how rare it is that software actually comes with the source code these days. It seems a little bit, I don't know, it seems a bit dishonest to me, kind of like, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like writing a story and only including the last page of the story. It's like, yeah, you know how it ends, but that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is what happened in between. But anyway, how long is this? I'm pretty sure it's not very long. I just want to get all this source code on video so that anybody who wants to see it can recreate it themselves, because this is well, not exactly the best game in the world, but it's a game that comes with source code, and I think that deserves the respect of at least looking at the source code. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, if the Doctor won, then sound a merry tune. If the Doctor lost, then sound a dirge. It's actually, okay, there we go. That's the end of the source code. So that's all that there is to that. And while we're here, let's quickly take a look at that daleks.trb file. I don't know what format this is, to be honest. This is, I guess, some format that Turbo Pascal can read. And the same thing with this MUS file. I guess this is supposed to be some kind of music file, but I don't know what format that is. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and run Daleks. It's weird. The program is called Daleks.com, but when you run it, the title screen announces it as Daleks. I don't know if it's supposed to be Dalek or Daleks, but anyway, let's say, yeah, shall we play a game? Yes. Do you want instructions? Sure, let's take a look at the instructions. So, the Daleks versus Dr. Mew. So Mew is the Doctor, and that symbol, is that a pi symbol? Those are the evil Daleks. So once again, use the numeric keypad to guide the Doctor. It's basically the same game. You'll even use the spacebar to hold and the numeric keypad to move around. But here, instead of F1, F2, and F3, use H for hyperspace, S to fire the sonic screwdriver, and F to finish this round quickly, which is the other game called Last Stand. Press a space to continue. That's nice. So you can see it's the same basic game, but it has a couple of things that I prefer. First of all, it's in color, and obviously the color is a little more pleasant to look at. I mean, I enjoy colors sometimes, as I'm sure other people do sometimes as well. And yeah, other than that, it's pretty much the same game. Also, I do appreciate that there we go. So when they crash into each other, they create that pink sort of mass there. I do appreciate that the characters are relatively square here. I guess they're still not perfectly square. They're still a little bit, that trash pile is a little bit taller than it is wide, and then the characters are a little wider than they are tall. But in general, it's, you know, they're more square, which makes it easier to appreciate the spatial relationship of objects to each other. Funnily enough, this game, when it plays the winning music, it sounds correct. Like that music that you just heard is obviously what happens when you successfully get all the Daleks to destroy themselves. But if you die, it plays the funeral music so quickly that you can't really hear it. Like, I guess you'll hear it when let me hyperspace out of here for a second. Oh, and in the upper right, see those two characters in the upper right? I think those are both phi symbols. That's how many sonic screwdriver charges you have left. So if I were to press S for a sonic screwdriver blast, let's actually go ahead and do that now. There we go. It does that. So I have one left, and you get one per level. So, but obviously most of the time it's more economical to just get the Daleks to walk into the trash piles or into the scrap piles, because they'll destroy themselves that way. So yeah. So overall, I prefer this game to the other one just because of its appearance. It lacks the high score table that the other game had, which is, I guess, depending on how important high scores are to you, that may be a significant loss. In which case, I'm truly sorry for your lots. But other than that, I generally tend to prefer this game. And what's really sad is that nobody knows about this game. It's just like you go looking online for games like this, and there are a bunch of sites that have pictures and downloads for the other game, the black and white game that I featured, but none for this. And it's just so disappointing. We're losing our history. Just great software like this is just being lost to the ravages of time, and it's just so unfortunate that nobody is really making an effort to document stuff like this. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get the Doctor killed so that we can see what happens when he dies. Now that little that you heard was supposed to be the funeral march, and it's that usual sort of da 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 that you typically hear in games when your character dies. But it's just, unless you slow the cycles on DOSBox way down, you can't hear it. And the thing is, if you make DOSBox slow enough that it plays correctly, you have to wait something like a full minute for the music to actually play. So I'm not going to bother with that. I mean, if you want, you can find the game, and if you can find the game. I mean, how do you find the game? This game is almost unfindable. So anyway, let's go ahead and play one more game. And I don't think there's really a whole lot of strategy to this game, because after a few levels, there are so many Daleks on the screen. Like, honestly, there are just so many of them that it pretty much just comes down to luck. When there are just a few of them like this, there's obviously some element of tactics and trying to sort of figure out how you can get them to walk into each other or into the scrap piles. But after you play for a few levels, there just get to be so many of them that it's really just more dumb luck than anything else. I mean, here it's still fairly easy, but it won't be long, I think, before there's no real strategy to winning. It's really just, yeah, it becomes just luck after a while. Let's see. Not a lot to say about this game either. It occurs to me that this is actually not really not a great game to Let's Play, because there's really not much to say about it, is there? I mean, it's kind of a fun game to play for a few minutes. It's what Underdogs often described as coffee break games back in the day. Man, remember Underdogs? I wonder whatever happened to I wonder whatever happened to Underdogs. As I understand, she got involved in local politics and kind of got out of the gaming scene. But she used to have the best site on the entire internet, Home of the Underdogs. That was a great site. But anyway, yeah. So this is what Underdogs would have described as a coffee break game, which makes sense because, yeah, it's like the kind of game that you play when you just want a quick break, but obviously not. It's not a game on the caliber of. I mean, it's not a masterpiece. It's not anything that would. It's not something that would win the Game of the Year award, or maybe it is. Maybe this is actually the type of game that. Oh, I died. All right. Well, I guess that's all there is to say about these games. So yes, very, very spooky, scary Halloween games for Halloween. So now that you're all properly scared and will have nightmares about Daleks hunting you through the dark, I hope that everyone has a happy Halloween, and I will talk to you in later videos. Yes, thanks for watching, everyone, and bye for now.